This month, we're playing with paper. Hey y'all, welcome back to Dots and Beyond. My name is Beth, and it's time to set up January in my personal bullet journal. In my last video, I introduced you to my journal for 2022, Shirehe. We're ready to start visiting some global festivals and celebrations together. January had a lot to choose from, but I chose the Dolimiti Balloon Festival, which takes place in Dolomiti, Italy. From the moment I decided on this theme, I knew I wanted to do some kind of paper art. I can't explain why that's the creative direction drawing me in, but here we are. Using watercolor craft paper, which I picked up at Michael's, I cut out various triangles to represent mountains. I then printed hot air balloon clip art onto some of the paper so I would have a guide to paint over with my Coliro gold watercolors. Something was missing, so I also cut out some clouds. These shapes are free-handed, and all of this I prepped ahead of time or we would be here for hours. Other supplies include a Tombow tape runner, a corner rounder, and Amazon Basics brush pens, as well as some gel pens. All are linked in the description box below. This year, I'm trying something a little different with my calendars by having this Dutch door mini calendar in the middle of the page. This decision was inspired by Chelsea from Line Unfolding on Instagram, linked below, who does the most amazing minimal black and white spreads. For January, I did trim an existing page in the journal, though I may decide to tip these in with washi tape for future months. I haven't pre-placed any of the cutouts, so while I assemble the cover page, let's learn a little about the Dolimiti Balloon Festival. In 2022, the festival will be held January 8th through the 16th. The Dolomites, from which the festival draws its name, are a beautiful mountain range located in northeast Italy. Visitors from around the world come to watch these snowy mountains become awash in color as hundreds of balloons take to the skies each day. In addition to the balloons, the region hosts a rich program of events dedicated to the theme of flight, with competitions, activities for children, and torchlight processions. There are a lot of balloon festivals around the world, including two more well-known ones, the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta, which takes place in October, and Turkey's Cappadocia Balloon Festival, traditionally held in July or August. While I love the desert of the southwest United States and I'm absolutely longing to visit Turkey, I love the juxtaposition of snowy mountains and colorful balloons in northern Italy, which is why I chose this landscape and this festival to kick off 2022. Other contenders for my January setup were the Sundance Film Festival held in Utah, India's Jaipur Literature Festival, and China's Harbin Ice and Snow Sculpture Festival. This corner rounder from We Are Memory Keepers is one of my journaling favorites. It has settings for 10, 7, and 4mm corners. When doing scrapbook styles or creating Dutch doors, it adds a finishing touch I just can't get with scissors. I've done scrapbook style setups in the past, and I'm always asked how I decide what goes where on the page. Unlike my drawing or artistic setups where everything is planned, these setups are all about feeling and just knowing when a page feels done. I almost wrap up this January cover 2 or 3 times before deciding, no, I need a little something else here or there. Paper art is also a different medium for me, but I love the watercolor paper I chose. When flipping through the paper pad, I tried to select blues, purples, and greens for the mountains, pinks and light blues for the balloons, and orange and yellow glows for the clouds, just to differentiate the elements from one another. My most favorite paper artist is Nathana Erica, whose name I'm probably butchering. Her art is stunning and borders on wizardry. You can find her on Instagram at The Art of Nathana Erica, which I will also link below. On the front side of this Dutch door is my January calendar. I'm mostly using the small tip of these Amazon Basic dual brush pens for this setup in place of my usual black Sakura Pigma microns. It adds a softer touch to go with the watercolor vibes. I will indicate some of the moon phases on this calendar with a gold gel pen. The stencil I'm using came in the December 2021 Archer and Olive subscription box. It makes a great mini ruler. I'll also use the circles for the moon phases. It's a small tool, but mighty. This page will also be home to moments, events or appointments, and focus or goals. The moments column is for me to come back and add some high points from the month since I have not yet set up a review or reflect page. But this is supposed to be a balloon festival and I still have no balloons, so let's fix that. As you can see, my balloon selection and cloud placement process is anything but organized. If following your gut is not your style, then lie everything out on the page until you get it how you like it and take a picture to use as a guide when gluing down the paper. This setup also doesn't need the paper. This would look just as beautiful if drawn and colored with markers, outlining the balloons with gold gel pen if you want a similar look to mine. And of course, it's a great setup for those who love watercolors and want to use paint. To paint directly in your journal, you will need a journal with thicker paper. This is one of the reasons I use Archer and Olive journals. The paper is bright white and the 160 GSM weight holds up well to paint. I am an Archer and Olive affiliate. A great way to support this channel and get a 10% discount is to click the link below or enter DNB10 at checkout. I guarantee you will love their products, and I will be incredibly grateful. The paper method does have one benefit, and that's being able to adjust what's already on the page. I placed this pink checkered balloon too high, blocking the writing space for my events, and here I'm peeling it off to lower it. This is made possible by the pink Tombow glue runner. A little rub of the finger will remove any excess glue. Tombow also makes a blue permanent glue runner and a green completely removable one. For my journals, I like the pink because I get a temporary maneuverability when I need it, followed by a more permanent hold. This page is still missing a few finishing touches. After more indecision and random cloud and balloon placements, my January cover celebrating the Dolimiti Balloon Festival is complete. Well, it's almost complete. Stay tuned to the flip through to see the final perfecting detail, which I forgot to include during the setup. Moving on to the next spread, this will house a challenge I do every January, as well as my mood tracker. No habit or sleep trackers this month. My habit tracker is in the 2022 annual setup, which I will link in the cards above, and I've decided the sleep cycle app I use is good enough that I no longer need to copy that data into my paper journal. Of course, we still need mountains, clouds, and balloons, so I'm going to pop those in now. Voila! For the mood tracker, I will outline some balloons in gold and then fill in a corresponding color, yellow being the best mood and blue being the worst. I drew 3 smaller balloons for January 1st, 2nd, and 31st, since they live outside of a full week. Each of the full weeks will fit inside a larger balloon with 1 stripe for each day from Monday to Sunday. The January challenge I do at the beginning of each year is to participate in Apartment Therapy's January Cure. It's 20 small challenges to reset your space for a fresh start. The first challenge of 2021 was to clean 1 single drawer. Each assignment is designed to build on the one before it, so the whole process doesn't feel overwhelming. If you want to participate with me, I will link to the 2022 January Cure in the description box below. I'll separate my weeks slightly and then use the light yellow marker on every other line to separate them just a little more. This yellow does not pick up on camera well, much like the Tombow N95 light gray, but it definitely helps define the page in person. I'll finish off the page with a small .005 Pigma Micron to write in weekly headers on both spreads, as well as put a smiley face in my yellow mood key and a frowny face in the blue one. This micron is thin enough for me to still read the weekly headers, but they aren't bold and intrusive. And that is the completed January Cure and Mood Tracker spread, which, like the cover page, is still missing the one final touch it needs. We'll get there, I promise. Less is more for my monthly setups these days, so we're jumping straight into the first weekly setup. Despite having more real estate in the B5, I'm going to stick with a favorite weekly setup. I used this in the smaller A5 journal a lot last year, but I'm also tossing in January 1st and 2nd so I can have them in this journal with no interference from 2021. The left side of the spread will house a rolling weekly task list, the first 2 days of the month, and a mini calendar. The right side will house the full second week of the year, Monday, January 3rd through Sunday, January 9th. I'll flip back to my cover mini calendar to include any relevant moon phases. Using the same size stencil, I'll add that full moon to January 3rd with a gold gel pen. What I am doing differently is separating each daily box or area with a faint dividing line, one I can write over if necessary. To do this, I'm using a Tombow N95 gray. The reason for this is to have date-specific appointments or to-do items above the gray line, and then leave space below for short-form daily journaling. I'll still keep a long-form journal, but I want to have a free-flow journaling element to my daily log, and that is one of the reasons I selected a B5 this year. I want to see how it works out before setting up the rest of the month. It's time to drop in the mini calendar, again with the .005 Pigma Micron. I did leave room for artistic elements on the page, so let's pop in our paper cutouts. And that's it for the January setup. Now let's get to the flip through so you can see what's missing from every page. Snow! I kept forgetting to add snow to my mountains, and now we have snowy peaks. To do this, I simply colored the tops of each mountain with a white Uniball Signo gel pen. Thank you for joining me on this journey to Italy's Dolimiti Balloon Festival. Maybe one day we can go visit in person. Question of the day: what festival where you live do you look forward to attending the most? Sound off in the comments below. If this is your first time watching, or if you are not yet subscribed, please take a moment to subscribe and click that bell notification so you are the first to know when I upload. Those little things really help me out a lot. Come back to find out if micro-journaling in my planner is here to stay or gone away. We would love to have you join our growing Dots and Beyond family. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Here are a couple more videos I think you might enjoy.